Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into the Performance Lab. Don't forget to subscribe below to the right for updates to new videos and a huge announcement coming up. Enjoy! Hey everyone, Morey Croson here from the Performance Lab of California, and we have another new breakdown for you today on Cam Newton. If you guys have been following this channel here for a while, you know that I am a Carolina Panther fan, and as a Carolina Panther fan, I'm obviously super interested in what's going on with Cam Newton and his new throwing motion here going into this season. So this one on the right here is a throw from just the other day at training camp, and then this one on the left is from his 2017-2018 highlights from a couple years ago. So we're going to just compare these, break them down, take a look to see what are some things that have changed. So, when you just see him going through his normal throw, what really stands out is that he's really trying to drive his elbow a lot more during the throw. He's not leaving that arm back and really opening up that front shoulder as much, and really putting, again, a bigger focus on really driving through with that elbow. But here during a live game, obviously this is going to be a little bit more of what his tendencies are going to be. So I'm definitely interested in seeing what those are and hopefully giving you guys some more information about it. So, big thing that I see is with his original drive with that front leg, he's really driving a lot more towards the target, right? So here you can see how he's stepping there, where here he's really stepping off to the side, and as he's stepping off to the side, he really opens up a lot with that with the front part of his body. And I mean, this is a different throw. This one's going to be a little bit more to the left, or this one's a little bit more straight ahead. So that's going to have an impact there. But even as he's coming through, you could see he's driving his elbow a lot more as he's coming through, and he's going a lot more upwards with his overall. I mean, you could see the overall position of his body. Yeah, he was still in that type of shape before, but right now he's going more of that type of a route before, where now it looks like he's going much more upright during that throw, and really he's always had a pretty high release, but you could see that he really is driving that elbow pretty high up as he's going through the throw. And you could tell, really it looks like he put a big focus on what he's trying to do with the deep ball, because even look at that front leg. You could see how his front foot, before he was very planted on that front foot, right? You can see that the whole front foot is basically on the ground there, where here his toe is barely, is the only thing that's touching the ground. So he's a lot more lifted as he's going through the actual throw, which, all these things are just going to impact how the overall force is going to be, right? So if you're here opening up a lot more during the throw, like we're seeing how we did before, that is going to put a lot more pressure on the pec. And, I was going to give you guys a little bit more information about what the actual injury was with the orthoscopic surgery, and what essentially that does, or what they usually do when they go in for those, is heal up any damage that's been going on within the rotator cuff, maybe within like the pec, the bicep tendon, just by, putting in a couple incisions. And they could even make it so they reattach the scapula, or attach the scapula a little bit more to like the spine, if that needs to be done. So essentially what it is, it's a surgery for the rotator cuff. And so by him getting a little bit more upright here during the throw, he's just taking some pressure off the rotator cuff. He's putting more pressure on the lats. He's putting more pressure on the the pecs, more the bigger muscles, which, a lot of times are not as focused on during the throw. A lot more times it is the rotator cuff that's going to be, what's the primary activator when you're throwing. And so when you're getting more what's called horizontal adduction, when you're bringing your elbow inwards, that's going to use more of your pec. So when he's doing with that surgery, he's really trying to get more pec activation, right? And really, and again, it looks like when he's going through the deep ball, he's trying to keep everything a little bit more facing straight ahead, rather than getting as rotational to take a little bit of a pressure, off of the elbow joint, which puts a little bit more. Whenever you're putting a good amount of pressure on the elbow joint, your rotator cuff a lot of times has to stabilize that. So, that looks like what the process is here. Obviously, I don't know what are all the background parts behind it. I could get a little bit more into those type of surgeries, I guess, and give some more information there. I just wanted to make this as easy to understand as you can. I know it would help to get some visuals, but some of the things that again change, how he's stepping with that front leg, right? How he's rotating within his body and the release point within that arm. Okay, so now he's going to get a lot more vertical. He's going to put a lot more of this type of motion into the ground, rather having as much of that type of motion in the ground, which, you know, to me, I think is better. I think that's going to end up helping out a lot. I don't know who, you know, helped him with his, you know, overall mechanics, but again, I think it's going to help him and hopefully take a lot of strain and make it so he can play for a few more years. I love him as a Panther, and, you know, excited to see how these next few years unfold. As always, guys, thanks for watching. If you guys want to get a breakdown or have any questions about any of this stuff, you could always reach out, and I'd be happy to answer any questions for you. Thanks, and I'll talk to you soon. Video. I hope you really enjoyed it, and if you did, you can subscribe down below, and that way you can get updates on any of the new videos that we get. Also, if you want to, you can check out some of our other breakdowns for speed and throwing. We have exercises, also jumping mechanics videos, a lot of great stuff within our channel. Hope you enjoy.